Michael! Michael, where are you? Michael! Michael! Where are you? Michael! Get away from me! No! Get away from me! Before the war, when things were different, I loved nothing more than to take long journeys in the wilderness. Many of those trips were made with my great friend, Michael Olson, and I couldn't have wished for a more stalwart, charming companion. All that stopped, of course, with the war, and when it was finally over, and by some miracle we had both survived, we had hoped our adventures would resume. But then came the sickness. Wave after wave of a deadly influenza surged across the globe, and once again, normal life all but stopped. We retreated indoors, our wings clipped, waiting. By the time it felt safe enough to travel again, years had passed. So it was with great pleasure, mixed with a little apprehension, that I met up with Michael again. As the train pulled into Nuremberg station, I soon spotted his familiar figure waiting on the platform. It was Midsummer's Day, 1921, and we were about to embark on a new adventure. A canoe trip down the Danube.
Gus, my dear chap.
Michael, can you believe it?
It's good to see you.
So good to see you, my friend.
Here, let me help you with that. The way out's over here.
When we encountered each other, I surveyed him as I am sure he surveyed me. But other than a few gray hairs and a certain wariness around the eyes, he had not outwardly changed. We were older, of course, and had both lived through things we preferred to forget. But I believed that in the day-to-day business of a canoe journey, we'd be able to recover something of the lightheartedness of our youth.
I've arranged for the canoe to be taken to the wharf with all the kit.
Great.
There's a market not far from here in the main square. We can stock up there.
Good, good.
Come on.
Our intention was to paddle our Canadian canoe down the Danube from Bavaria all the way to its mouth on the Black Sea, 2,000 miles, in many countries downstream. We had made several canoe trips together in the past, but this would be our most adventurous, and my dear friend was impatient to get started.
For heaven's sake, Gus, if we buy any more, we won't fit it all in the canoe.
Let's see. We've got bread, coffee, bacon, a bag of oats, and tobacco. That should do it for now. That's all, thank you. Here. Vielen Dank, meine Frau. Grüß Gott.
Grüß Gott, meine Herren.
Did she just make the sign of the cross?
She probably thinks we're contagious because we're foreigners. Quite a few people were eyeing us suspiciously. I, for one, can't wait to get going.
So we made our way to the jetty and packed the canoe with tent and supplies. It was a tight squeeze.
Right. Are you ready?
If you are...
The Black Sea, here we come.
Oh, oh,
Oh, freedom.
From the very beginning, the river Danube impressed us with its aliveness. It rolled like some huge fluid being tolerating our little craft on its mighty shoulders, playing roughly at times, but generally good-humored.
That was a close one.
Away from the towns, we saw foxes, eagles, hoopoes, and owls. Cormorants lined the banks like black palings. Storks fished in the shallow water between islands. And marsh birds filled the air with glinting wings. It felt as though we had slipped out of time. It must have looked like this to the Romans, who made the river the limit of their empire, or to Alexander the Great and Darius the Persian, who led their mighty armies along its banks. The river had seen them all come, and it had seen them all go. We canoed all day and pitched our tent on the banks at night. The outdoor life, the hard physical effort, the landscapes sliding past in an endless changing freeze. It was like a balm. After years of being hemmed in by fear and uncertainty, I felt as though I was coming back to life, rediscovering a part of myself that I thought had died. I could see from his face that Michael felt the same. And to my delight, we quickly fell into our old shorthand ways.
Hard left now. We'll pull ahead.
Michael was always practical and calm, supremely skilled with the paddle, and in all aspects of bushcraft. He had the sort of character you could rely on.
You all right back there?
I'm fine. I'm having the time of my life.
Shall we camp now, or go on for an hour or so?
It's such a beautiful evening. Let's go on. By mid-July, we had traveled more than 300 miles and reached the newly renamed town of Bratislava. Here, we planned to rest and replenish our food supplies for what looked on the map like a long stretch of wilderness before us. We even allowed ourselves a night at an inn, where we could indulge in the luxuries of hot baths, feather beds, and a home-cooked meal.
Please, have some more of my mother's plum strudel.
Oh, no, thank you. I really couldn't.
Another glass of Shivovica, huh?
Now that I will say yes to.
You like Slivovitz?
Yes, I do, Frau Jarova. It's good and strong.
And your friend?
I fear I have already had a little too much. Then again, one more can't hurt.
Here.
You both are very kind.
For us, this is celebration. My mother and I just opened the inn again. No visitors came here for a long time. Especially after my wife died.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So, tomorrow you go downriver?
Yes, we're looking forward to it.
But you know it has rained heavily in the mountains. The river is rising.
We're not worried about the rain, actually. Mr. Olson here is the finest boatman in rapids that I know. And when we've worn ourselves out on the river, we plan to camp. It looks like there's plenty of small islands where we can pitch our tent.
Bad country. People go and don't come back.
Oh, Mother!
The place is not for men.
Mother! You will scare our guests. They don't want to hear that nonsense.
What do you mean, Frau Jarova? It's not for men.
It is old superstition. Don't worry. My mother thinks of fairy stories. Stories for children, you know?
No, we love fairy stories.
The marshland, it is haunted.
Haunted?
The river is dangerous. That is true. You see, it splits into 3 channels. In flood like this, it is easy to become confused. And when the water drops, you can find yourselves... What is that word?
Stranded.
Yes, stranded.
Well, thank you for the warning, but as far as the river goes, the more water there is, the better we like it, eh, Gus?
Well, maybe we should turn in for the night. We've got an early start tomorrow.
I wish you good night, gentlemen.
We went to our room, unimpressed by his mother's tale, lacking as it did in any of the detail required for an effective ghost story. And despite the best efforts of the wind to keep us awake, we slept soundly in our feather beds. The next morning, we left before dawn, heading into the rising sun. The sky was a cloudless, brilliant blue, and the river, which had indeed risen overnight, hurtled us onward at exhilarating speed into the land of the Willows. Once you leave Bratislava, the Danube spreads out into a maze of channels and islands that daily shift in size and shape, and in times of flood, disappear altogether beneath the waters. The change comes suddenly. Within a half an hour, there are no more red roofs, no fishing boats or huts, not a sign of human habitation.
Let's pull into that cove. Take a break from the heat.
All right. Yeah, I could do with a drink.
Catch hold of that branch.
Got it, got it.
Here, have some water.
Thanks. I'm not as fit as I was.
Me neither. You know, I'm too hot and I'm exhausted, but I feel better than I have for years, probably.
It's this place. It's glorious. This wind blows away the cobwebs. And it's so good to be away from crowds and towns.
Away from civilization. Ready to go on?
Yep. Push. And there we go. This great stretch of Danube marshes grows nothing but willows. Bushes rather than trees, that bend and sway in every breath of wind. And as the wind never drops, it gives the impression of an endlessly moving sea of green and silver. We tried to keep to the middle of the river, but the banks were often hidden by foliage, and the floodwaters made judging our route difficult. Water and land became confused. We could no longer be certain which was which. And despite the warnings of our host in Bratislava, we quickly lost all sense of where we were.
Hard left. No, left. We must keep left where the current is strongest.
Controlling the canoe on such a wild river full of tangled branches of willows was tiring work.
What say we find a camp while the sun is still high?
Even finding a landing place was difficult. The current was so great and the wind so strong. The swirling flood would carry us towards the bank and then snatch us away.
Damn!
Willow branches tore our hands as we tried to stop the canoe, and We pulled many a yard of sandy soil into the water before finally, with a great sideways blow of the wind, we shot into a backwater and beached the canoe against the bank.
Let's get out and pull her up.
Whoa, whoa! Careful! Ah! Whew! Yeah. What a river, huh?
Won't stand much nonsense, will it?
No, it won't. I'm beat.
We can camp here. It's high enough above the water. That poplar tree looks like its roots stay dry.
This is a beautiful spot in a strange sort of way, isn't it? It's so good to be here, Michael. I'm glad we made it.
I know. I thought we weren't going to be able to land.
No, I mean, that's good to be here on the journey with you. There were times when I thought we would never be able to do this again.
Yes.
You know, when things were particularly grim over the last few years, I would think of that trip on the St. Lawrence when we overturned the canoe. If it hadn't been for you, we'd have drowned. And it just made me believe that when things are bad, they won't stay bad forever. You saved me more than once, but then you've always been stronger than me. Remember that time in Alberta when we set fire to the tent? Michael? Michael? Leaving my companion asleep on the hot sand, I decided to explore our temporary home and climb to the highest point. We were on an island in the middle of the river, covered by a sea of willow bushes that swayed in the wind, silver leaves dancing and flashing in the sun. The constant movement gave the impression that the entire plain was alive. I walked on, my feet often sinking into soft sand, or suddenly dropping into hidden watery holes. Into my delight of this wild beauty, there crept a curious feeling. The river was rising fast, but my unease seemed to attach itself to the miles upon miles of willows. They were everywhere, pressing thickly into the river as though to suffocate it. They circled it like a herd of antediluvian creatures crowding round a drink, sucking the river up into themselves, like gigantic sponge-like growths. What a fool Michael would think I was, to imagine something like that. I shook off the feeling and made my way back to the camp.
There you are.
I've been having a look around.
Anything to report?
I can tell you there's a lot of willows on this island and not much else.
Well, I've had the devil of a job getting the fire to catch. There's not much wood around and it's mostly wet. I found enough driftwood for cooking dinner tonight. I think we should move on first thing tomorrow, don't you?
Okay.
There's a good-sized log by the bank over there. We can keep the fire going overnight if we get it. I think we can lift it if we both put our backs into it.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
It's heavier than I thought. Try again.
Hey, wait a minute. Can you see that? Over there in the water.
What is it?
A large black object, turning over and over in the waves, was sweeping rapidly past the island. The low, piercing sunlight made the thing shimmer in the rushing water. It kept disappearing below the surface, but suddenly it bobbed up and turned, and we saw a pair of eyes gleam yellow in the setting sun.
Oh, it's an otter.
Oh, yeah. Of course it is. I see it now. Yeah, an otter.
Come on, let's try this log again.
But the truth was, I knew that thing was too large for an otter. What it looked like was a body. The body of a drowned man, turning helplessly in the current. But Michael was so certain, and I didn't want to alarm him.
Come on, we need to put up the tent before dark. This sand is hopeless for pitching a tent. It's so soft and dry, it won't hold anything.
You'd think there'd be some rocks around here, but I haven't seen a single one.
I'll tie this corner to the tree trunk. As long as the wind doesn't change direction, that should hold it.
Hey, does the river sound closer to you, or am I just imagining it?
We'd better put everything in the canoe and tie it to the tree. We don't want to lose anything in the storm.
It was then, in the dim light of dusk, that we saw the second strange thing.
Look, is that a boat?
He's going fast. What's he doing? He can't be fishing. This time, it definitely was a man. A man in a boat. I stared, but I found it strangely difficult to focus on the bobbing craft. It seemed to be a man standing in a flat-bottomed boat being carried along at a tremendous pace. He was waving and gesticulating, and was close enough for us to see his mouth moving. But the wind drowned his voice, and not a single word was audible.
What in the world can he be doing traveling just before dark? There's no habitation downstream for 50 miles.
You think he needs help?
Well, if he does, there's nothing we can do for him.
The boat was soon out of sight. But there was something curious about the whole thing that made an impression on me, out of all proportion to its cause. Night fell as we cooked dinner on the open fire. The sky was clear, and a full moon rose in the east, covering the plain of Willows and the river with a silvery light that was almost as bright as day.
Gus, I was very touched by the letter you wrote after Jessica died. I should have replied.
It's all right. It must have been a shock. I bet she made an excellent nurse.
She did. And strong. She said the influenza wouldn't dare try it on with her. She'd been volunteering since the first outbreak, and she'd been fine. And she went to the hospital one day, and never came home.
I'm so sorry.
But we've all lost people, haven't we? No use in dwelling on the past. Anyway, it would be good to have an idea of our course tomorrow. Can you pass me the map?
Sure. Whew.
Damn this wind. Can't keep the map still to read it.
No. Can you see where we are?
We're in this area of dotted lines. The swamps, nothing's permanent. The banks are always shifting.
The wind's really coming up now, isn't it?
We've had worse. Anyway, we'll work it out as we go.
I thought how glad I was to have as my companion a man of such calm, good sense. I knew I could rely on him. Oh, this wind, it seems to get right inside my head.
We'd best try and get some sleep.
Now just be a minute. Call of nature. I walked a little distance away from the tent into the bushes. As I stood there, the wind made it seem like the willows were talking amongst themselves, chattering with a sibilant, mocking tone, shaking their bushy heads, twirling their leaves, as though they moved of their own will. I started to walk back to camp. I'd only gone a short distance, but I seemed to have lost my way in the willows. They were everywhere, surrounding me.
Gus! Give me your hand!
Thank you.
You were gone so long. I thought something must have happened to you.
I got lost. The river seems wilder than ever. The banks are being washed away. It just collapsed under my feet.
Lucky our tent's in the hollow. I think it will hold.
I hope you're right. I'm gonna sleep with my clothes tonight, just in case. We made a last check before turning in. We laid the canoe upside down beside the tent, both paddles safely beneath her, our sack of provisions hanging from the nearby poplar, the only large tree on the island. The psychology of places is very vivid. For the wanderer, each camp has its note. At first it may not be apparent, as the work of pitching camp and cooking prevents you from noticing it. But with the first pause, as now, it announces itself. And the note of this willow camp was suddenly plain to me. We were trespassers. We were not welcome. I tried to put it out of my mind. Worn out with fighting the elements, we crawled into the tent and soon fell asleep. Get off! Get off! Get off! Suddenly, there seemed to be a great weight on my chest. Michael! Michael! I can't breathe. There's something falling on his head. I think it's a tree. But my friend was sound asleep. Michael, wake up. We need to get out. I raised the tent flap and scrambled outside. But then I saw the tent was fine. The wind had dropped. The tree was still standing. Michael hadn't stirred, and there was no need to wake him. I looked about me, noting the turned-over canoe, the 2 yellow paddles, the provision sack and lantern hanging from the tree, and yet crowding everywhere about me, enveloping all. What do you want from me? What do you want? What do you want from me? I walked a little way into the bush so I could see across the river. The shoreline had altered during the night. The wind had torn away great masses of sand. The same profound emotion of distress seized me as I saw the endless sea of willows stretching to the horizon, ghostly in the pale light of dawn. And yet, the crimson sunrise and the whole magical beauty of it was so overpowering that it almost brought a cry to my throat.
What's wrong with me?
I looked back at the tent. There was no question of it. The bushes now crowded much closer, unpleasantly close. Had they moved? But how could they? I must have imagined it. Maybe I was just looking from a different viewpoint. But I knew it was not a different viewpoint. The willows had moved. Had the wind done it? Or had they moved of themselves? I recalled the sounds, the infinite small patterings, and the pressure on the tent, and on my heart. And that's when I was first afraid that I was losing my mind.
Good morning, sleepyhead. Hope you're hungry. I've made porridge.
Oh, great, because I'm starving now you mention it.
The river's still rising. Quite a few of the little islands have disappeared altogether. Our own island is considerably smaller.
It's a good thing we're leaving soon. How's the firewood holding out?
The wood and the island will finish tomorrow in a dead heat. But there's enough to last us till then.
Tomorrow? But we're leaving today, are we? We'll be ready to go in about an hour.
We'll be fortunate if we can get away at all.
Now, what do you mean?
Well, for one thing, the steering paddle is gone.
No, the steering paddle is right there, under the canoe. I saw it a couple of hours ago.
Well, it's not there now.
You're crazy, I'm telling you.
If you don't believe me, you'd better look for yourself. See? There's only one paddle. And there's another strange thing. The canoe has a tear in the bottom.
What?
There. See? It's almost invisible, but it's there.
Yeah, it looks like a sharp rock snagged it. Must have happened when we landed.
There are no rocks here. You commented on it, remember?
Well, yesterday there were rocks, I'm sure. They must have washed away.
There's this to explain, too.
Michael picked up the remaining paddle and handed it to me. What on earth? The blade was scraped down. No. Beautifully scraped. As though someone had sandpapered it with care. Making it so thin that the first vigorous stroke in the water would snap it in two. We can't set off with this in this flood. It'd be suicide.
When I woke up in the night, you weren't in the tent. Did you do it, Gus?
No. Of course I didn't. Michael, I didn't do it. I'm not crazy. Good God. It could have just as well been you.
Is that what you think? You think I do that?
No. Of course I don't. And yet, it had to be one of us. But it wasn't me, and neither could I believe it of him. Yet I couldn't ignore the fact that he looked different this morning. On edge, as though he was keeping a secret. He was waiting for something, listening for it.
And what other explanation is there?
It's this wind, that's it. The wind was very strong last night, and it must be the constant stream pushing the sand particles And the way the paddle was lying, it's just a freak of nature.
A freak of nature.
Yes. And the same wind must have caught the steering paddle and flung it near the bank so that it fell into the river with the next lump that crumbled.
And the damage to the canoe?
A stone when we landed, obviously.
So you can explain everything. Even though there are clearly no stones.
Michael! Michael! Had he done this? Had my friend suffered some crisis in the night that had finally torn him from his moorings? Or was it me? In the grip of last night's strange terror, was it possible that I'd done these things? It was at that moment that I noticed strange, funnel-shaped hollows in the sand all around me. Conical depressions of various depths and sizes, varying from that of a teacup to a large bowl, but all perfectly formed. A rational explanation was an absolute necessity to me. The wind had to be responsible for these craters, just as it was for lifting the paddle and flinging it towards the river. I clung to my theory as I started melting some pitch to mend the tear in the hull.
I found more driftwood. I think I can splint the paddle with this and make it serviceable. But with the best will in the world, the canoe won't be watertight until tomorrow.
I guess you're right. Just one more night then, and we'll be off.
Gus,
Yeah.
have you noticed these? Hollows in the sand. Curious, huh?
I know. They're all over the island.
You can explain them, no doubt.
Maybe the wind? Have you never noticed those little whirlwinds in the street that twist and twirl everything into a circle? And the sand's loose enough to do that. That's all it is.
I can't help wondering whether that innkeeper's mother was right.
What are you talking about?
It's as if we've crossed over a boundary of some sort, not human. At first I thought it was some sort of hallucination, but now it feels like they're preparing us for something.
Michael, there's got to be a logical explanation for this. This doesn't sound like you. Come on, get a grip. You should lie down. Get some rest. But the truth was, I believed what he was saying. I'd known there was something bad here since I walked around the island that first evening. Now I was discovering that my practical, sensible friend had been ahead of me all along. We looked across at each other, and we knew. We were both afraid. We occupied ourselves with practicalities, testing the repaired leak in the canoe, and fashioning a rough paddle from driftwood and branches. But as we worked, in all directions, we could see an enormous flood of rising water, the island growing visibly smaller as the banks were torn away in great gulps and splashes. Then suddenly the wind dropped. But even though the wind was still, the willows kept up a sort of independent movement of their own, rustling among themselves, shaking oddly from their roots upward. We turned our backs to them and repaired the canoe and paddle as best we could, and then tied them securely to the base of the poplar. By the time we finished, hours had passed, and it was nearly dark. It was my turn to make dinner, and I was glad, I had something to occupy my mind.
Gus! Come over here.
I don't want to burn the stew.
Then just listen. There. What do you make of it?
Make of what? I only hear the fire.
Listen. Surely you can hear it.
I can hear something. Must be the wind blowing in those sand funnels, or the rushes rubbing together after the storm, maybe.
It comes from the whole swamp, from everywhere at once. I think it comes from the willows.
There's no wind now. The willows can hardly make a noise by themselves, can they?
It's because the wind has dropped that we can hear it. It's like they're warning us.
Don't say that, Michael. Please, the stew's ready now, okay? Get the bread, will you? It's in the bag hanging by the tree.
All right.
And hurry up, I'm starving.
There's nothing here.
There's a whole loaf of bread in the canvas bag. We bought it in Bratislava. Just bring it, will you?
I can't. Look, no bread.
Oh, come on. Oh, give me the bag. It's got to be here.
They've taken it.
I know I bought the bread, but I must have left it behind. Talking so much to the shopkeeper, I must have left it on the counter.
And the bag of oatmeal. Look, it's half empty.
Well, there's still going to be plenty for tomorrow, and we'll buy more at Kilmarnock. Tomorrow we'll be miles from here, Michael.
I hope so. Unless we are claimed as victims for the sacrifice.
Now just stop it. All right, just shut up. I don't hear anything now. It's just the river. All I hear is the river. All right?
Yes. Just the river.
Now, let's have dinner. We ate our meal in silence, avoiding each other's eye. Despite what I had said, the curious sound was incessant, always moving, sometimes fading, but never dying away altogether. Afterwards, we sat smoking, and as night fell, without chores to occupy myself, the unease I had felt all day became more and more acute. Michael was staring ahead, his face blank. I knew that I could not go on without the Michael of old, the strong, capable man I knew and loved. I had to be an anchor for him, but his mind wandered crazily.
I can't help feeling that we've crossed over a line somewhere. The paddle, the canoe, the missing bread.
I've explained all that, right?
Have you? Have you, Gus? Have you really?
Look, I hate this place. I hate the darkness, and the noises, and the damn willows. Of course, I can hear it. I knew there was something wrong. That first night, I just didn't want to believe it. And Michael, I'm frightened. We have to get away from here.
I'm sorry, Gus. I'm so sorry.
What are you sorry for?
For bringing you here. This was all my idea.
Michael, stop it. You're not yourself.
I'm very much myself, Gus. You think we're simply battling the elements? But it's not the elements. It's nothing to do with any of that. You heard them last night, those pattering sounds. And you felt it. I know you did.
Fine. Fine. So what do you think we should do?
An offering might save us by distracting them. A sacrifice.
Michael, we're going to collect more firewood, all right? We'll build up the fire, and at sunrise, we'll be off for Kilmarnock. Give me your hand. It'll be all right. It will. We should just get some more wood before it gets dark. Come on.
Let go, you're hurting me! Look! Look at that!
It's just smoke. That's smoke from the fire.
It's not smoke! Look!
In front of the firelight, something moved. It was neither a human being nor an animal. It appeared hazy, like something seen through a gauze curtain. But it was large. More like several beings grouped together, moving slowly, writhing in some abominable way.
They've come! Oh my God, they found us! Run!
We ran as hard as we could, but our feet kept sinking into the cold, marshy ground. An acute spasm of pain shot up my arm as I went under and obliterated everything else, even the shock of the icy water.
Here, take my hand. God, I'm so sorry. I tripped and knocked you off balance. Are you all right?
I felt like I'd broken my arm. That seems all right. Seems all right. We made our way back to the tent and built up the fire one last time. By the firelight, we noticed that all around the tent, just where we had seen the moving shapes, there were more of the weird funnel-shaped hollows in the sand, only bigger and deeper and beautifully formed. Neither of us said a word. I meant to lie awake all night and watch and listen. But first Michael began to snore, and then I too, exhausted in mind and body, fell into a deep sleep.
Get up. You're suffocating me. Michael? Where are you? Michael? Oh no. God. Michael!
Outside the tent, I searched for him.
Michael, come back!
Dawn was breaking, and a faint, whitish light spread upwards from a strip of clear horizon. I could just make out the bushes and the river and pale patches of sand,
Find him, please.
but not my friend.
Michael!
But the willows smothered my voice, and the noise of the humming muffled it,
Where are you, Michael?
so the sound only traveled a few feet around me.
Michael!
I plunged among the bushes, tripping headlong, tumbling over roots and scraping my face among the clutching, tangling branches.
Please, God, let us get out of here. Let me find him. Please.
I suddenly came out upon the island's point, and I saw a figure outlined between the water and the sky. It was Michael. He had stepped into the river and was wading deeper into the flood.
Wait! I'm coming! I'm coming! Michael!
I'm going to let them take me!
No! No! I won't let you! Here! Stop! Michael! Stop! Stop it! Stop! Michael, open your eyes. Michael, can you hear me?
Gus,
Are you all right?
you saved me.
I thought you were going to drown.
Listen. It's all right.
And then he simply collapsed, a dead weight, and I hadn't the strength to move him back to the tent. I covered him with a blanket and kept a nervous vigil till dawn, when I fell into a deep, dreamless sleep.
Good morning, Gus.
Morning.
The river seems to be falling at last, and the wind's died down.
Yeah, you're right. That rain noise is gone.
Yes, everything has stopped.
It feels normal. Oh, thank God. Thank God it's over. It's over. Oh. I can't wait to get going again.
Me too. I just checked the canoe. The repair looks good.
We're safe. We're free. I'm so relieved, Michael.
We're free, my friend, because they found another sacrifice.
Whatever the reason, I think we should just get out of here as soon as possible. I'm going to start packing up. And with luck, we're going to make it to Camarno by sunset. Right, Michael?
They found another victim, Gus. I think if we look, we shall find it.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
You can come or not. I'm going to find out.
Reluctantly, I followed. A part of me not willing to let him out of my sight. But he seemed almost his old self, searching the newly exposed shoreline, following the bays and backwaters, and poking among the masses of driftwood and tangled vegetation that had been swept down by the flood.
See? There it is.
He was pointing at a body that lay face down, half in the water and half on the sand, caught by some willow roots that held it from the river's grasp.
That's him. The victim that will make our escape possible.
Must have fallen in upstream, floated down here. Oh, poor guy.
He must have drowned at dawn. When you saved me. The current is strong, but I think I can reach him. Give me your hand.
You sure you want to do that? I shuddered. For there was something about the appearance of that poor drowned man that turned my blood cold. But I grasped a willow root and held onto Michael as he reached towards the corpse. Be careful.
I can't reach him.
All right. Michael, come back. Okay. Come on. Something's moving around. Quick, come back. Oh, my God. It was as though we had disturbed some living yet invisible creatures at work. Scavenging, nibbling at the carcass.
The river's taking him.
The corpse, freed by our blunderings, was caught by the current, which slowly turned it over until the dead face was uppermost, staring at the sky. He seemed to be looking at us, and we saw how his flesh was indented with small, funnel-shaped hollows, beautifully formed, exactly similar in shape and kind to the sand funnels we had found all over the island.
Look. It's their mark.
Paralyzed with horror, we watched the current carry away the sacrifice into midstream. The eyes were open, and for a moment, the sun caught them and lit a flash of yellow fire. This isn't over, is it, Michael?
No. I don't think it is.
Already, it was beyond reach, almost out of sight, turning over and over on the waves, like an otter. you.